Welcome everyone to Meditation Mount and to this celebration of the 2025 Wesak Festival that is held in the solar sign of Taurus with the full moon in Scorpio. So let's begin by gathering ourselves from different parts of the world. Let's create a field of connection and communion. And we do this simply by being present here and now. Standing inside the heart and connecting hearts across distance, heart to heart to heart. Creating a group chalice for today's ceremony. And feel the group heart pulsing with expectant joy. Thank you. If you don't already have, you may wish to find either a glass of water or a bowl of water because it's part of the ritual of Wesak. The Buddha blesses and there is a crystal bowl receiving the blessings. It's potentized and magnetized in the water, and we're going to replicate this in our own homes, wherever we are. So let's say a few words about this festival. The Wesak Festival honors the Buddha, who's known as the Lord of Light. And the Buddha uses this occasion each year to bless humanity with the light of illumination. And this is a great aid in our journey of transformation, which, if we're going to use the words of the Gayatri, which is an ancient prayer, our journey leads us from darkness to light, from the unreal to the real, and from death to immortality. I believe this festival has added significance this year because of the vast crisis facing us on the planet together. So it offers an opportunity to anchor the light of a new day in the hearts and minds of our one humanity. And as we'll see later, the Wesak Festival of Light climaxes with the gift of the Buddha descending into the denser dimensions of the sacred sphere of Earth. And for a period of 8 minutes, the Buddha pours the energies of will and light into the etheric planes of Earth during the time of the Taurus full moon. And this results in what is called a heightened spiritual stimulation. Because if you're going to look at the esoteric significance of this time, it says the Taurian eye of the bull, because we're in the sign of Taurus the bull, the Taurian eye of the bull is called the eye of vision. And this fact is reflected in the spiritual motto of Taurus, which is, I see, and when the eye is opened, all is illuminated. I see, and when the eye is open, all is illuminated. And that also refers to the passage in the Bible where it says, when thine eye be single, thy body shall be full of light. So what we're talking about is the opening of the third eye. It's the opening of the light of intuition. So Taurus is an earth sign, and there is an esoteric or inner ruler, and that is the planet Vulcan. Vulcan is a first-ray planet, and it acts as the divine smith. You imagine a smith standing at a forge, and Vulcan either forges the chains which bind us, or Vulcan creates the key which unlocks the mystery of life. It's how we use the energy of Vulcan. The exoteric or outer ruler is Venus. And often we think of Venus as love and you know, like a softer kind of energy. But in fact, Venus brings illumination and the light of the mind. It's an interesting fact that seen through the lens of Venus, love is called pure reason. So why? So pure reason sounds very logical, but we're not talking about reason as logic. We're talking about why everything exists. So pure reason is the enlightened love that is the true reason for all existence. So Venus opens us up to understanding that. So the constellation of Taurus bathes us in its light, and it provides us with these qualities, many challenges, but many opportunities. So just to put the Wesak Festival in context, there are the three major festivals that start the annual cycle of the zodiac. We began with the Easter Festival of Resurrection in Aries last month. Then we have Taurus, which is the bringing of the light into earth. And then the Festival of Goodwill in Gemini. And Taurus uniquely observes both the historical occurrence of light on earth, but also makes it a living event. So we're not just dealing with the Buddha as an ancient personages on the planet. So those of you who are familiar with the story, just bear with me, but for those of you who are not, let me just give you a brief summation of the Buddha. So over 2,600 years ago, as a student of the Upanishads and Vedas, Prince Siddhartha Gautama was moved by compassion to search by every means possible for the cause of and the remedy to human misery and suffering. This was his life quest. And as a result of his singleness of purpose and his selfless striving, we have his wisdom now. And during his lifetime, he attained a state of Buddhic consciousness. Basically, he achieved enlightenment, and therefore, because he achieved Buddhic consciousness, which is the light of the intuitive realm, he earned the title of Buddha, the enlightened one. And ever since then, since this great achievement, at the exact time of the Taurus full moon, through an act of great sacrifice and love, he returns, as it said, from his high place of elevated consciousness to bring light and blessings to our long-suffering planet. And he supports us in the journey from pain and suffering to eventually joy and wisdom, which is when we are liberated. So the Buddha stands with us and blesses us each year as we make this journey from darkness into light, from pain to joy, from suffering to wisdom. So at this time of the festival of Wesak, in cooperation with other guides and other elders and what's called the Watchers of the planet, the Buddha seeks to increase the flow of light into our world, because we need the light of wisdom. We need the light of experience and understanding to understand, truly to understand what is happening in the world and how we can act differently. The Buddha very graciously gave us the Four Noble Truths that reveal the causes of human trouble and point to a remedy. So the trouble is the pain and the suffering. The remedy is disidentification. And if I were to paraphrase his message, I would say, cease to identify yourself with material things, gain a proper sense of the spiritual values, cease regarding possessions and earthly existence as of major importance. Follow the noble eightfold path, which is the path of right relations to the Creator, to each of you, and thus be happy. So if you can imagine, an encapsulation of the Buddha's teachings. And because the Buddha achieved full enlightenment, he knows what it's about. Therefore, his light can indicate the way for those who are still suffering and who are aggrieved. So the Buddha's message is eternal and just as applicable today as it was when he first enunciated his Four Noble Truths. And the Buddha said, when you practice these Four Noble Truths, they will lead to enlightenment, and they will result in the cessation of suffering, and they will increase compassion in the world. Therefore, follow this path. And if you step back and look at the Ageless Wisdom teachings, it's said that the entire secret of divine purpose and planning is hidden in the sign of Taurus, because fundamentally to the present day relationship existing amongst, there's a triangle that exists at the moment, it's very powerful, between the Pleiades, the star cluster of the Seven Sisters, the constellation of the Great Bear, and our solar system. So this triangle is one of the most important triangles in our entire cosmos, in the series of relationships inside the cosmos. And the Ageless Wisdom says that it's enhanced by the fact that the eye of the bull of God, which we mentioned earlier, is the eye of revelation and vision. So this is the eye inside the triangle. So the eye of vision of the individual, you and I, must also be opened in response to the cosmic light. And the Buddha proclaims victory is inevitable because the potency of the cosmic energy will unfailingly and in time subdue and reorient the energy of our humanity. So he's basically saying, through enlightenment, we will lift ourselves and lift all beings. So you've probably gathered that the emphasis in Taurus is upon struggle, cosmic, planetary, and individual, for the desire will underlies the manifested activities of all life and all forms. So this is the struggle of that which is deeply hidden in darkness. It's struggle to reach the light of day. It's the struggle of the hidden soul to be revealed and to control the outer form. It's the struggle you and I go through each day. It's the struggle to transmute desire into aspiration, and aspiration in the will to achieve. It's the struggle to attain the goal, which an increasing light reveals. And we as humanity stand at a point in time and space, collectively and individually, where we have to choose our path. Are we going to remain walking the path of matter? Are we going to walk the path of light that not only liberates us, but lifts light into the new light of day? So in preparation for the meditation, I'd like to recount and recall the legend of Wesak. It's been handed down to us through the Ageless Wisdom teachings. So what I will do is I will simply read an abbreviated version of this and then accompanied with some images. So this is the legend that is taught and shared. And what you're seeing here is Mount Kailash, the mountain of the bell, the sacred mountain in Tibet that brings through the light of will. So here is the legend. There is a valley lying at a rather high altitude in the foothills of the Himalayan Tibet ranges. It is surrounded by high mountains on all sides, except towards the northeast, where there is a narrow opening in the mountain ranges. The valley is, therefore, bottle-shaped in contour, with the neck of the bottle to the northeast, and it widens very considerably towards the south. Up towards the northern end, close to the neck of the bottle, there is to be found a huge flat rock. There are no trees or shrubs in the valley, which is covered with a kind of coarse grass, but the sides of the mountain are covered with trees. Approaching the time of the full moon of Taurus, pilgrims from all surrounding districts begin to gather. The holy people, the lamas, find their way into the valley, and they fill the southern and the middle parts, leaving the northeastern end relatively free. There, so the legend runs, gathers a group of those great beings who are the custodians on earth of the divine plan for our planet and for humanity. This group of knowers of divinity are the main participants in the Wesak Festival. They arrange themselves in the northeastern end of the valley and in concentric circles according to their grade, their initiatory development, and they prepare themselves for a great act of service. In front of the rock Looking towards the northeast stand those beings who are called by their disciples the three great lords. These are the Christ, who stands in the center, the Lord of living forms, the Manu, who stands on his right, and the Lord of civilization, who stands on his left. These three face the rock upon which rests a great crystal bowl full of water. Those present in their physical bodies have found their way into the valley by ordinary means. Others are present in their spiritual bodies and in their dream state. And they all bear testimony to the recollection of an inner spiritual happening that is happening now in the valley. And as the hour of the full moon approaches, a stillness settles down upon the crowd, and all look towards the northeast. Certain ritualistic movements take place in which the group masters and their disciples of all ranks take up symbolic positions and other well-known formations, all of which have a deep and potent meaning. This is all done to the sound of certain chanted words and esoteric phrases called mantrams. The expectancy in the waiting, onlooking crowd becomes very great, and the tension is real and increasing. Through the entire body of people, there seems to be felt a stimulation or potent vibration, which has the effect of awakening the souls of those present, fusing and blending the group into one united whole, and lifting all into a great act of spiritual demand, readiness, and expectancy. It is the climax of the world's aspiration focused in this waiting group. These three words, demand, readiness, and expectancy, best describe the atmosphere infusing those present in this secret valley. So the chanting and the rhythmic weaving grow stronger, and all raise their eyes towards the sky in the direction of the narrow part of the valley. A few minutes before the exact time of the full moon, in the far distance, a tiny speck can be seen. It comes nearer and grows in clarity and definiteness. We see its outline until the form of the Buddha can be seen, seated in the cross-legged Buddha position, clad in his saffron-colored robe, bathed in light and color, and with his hand extended in blessing. When he arrives at a point exactly over the great rock, hovering there in the air over the heads of the three great lords, a great mantram, used only once a year at this festival, is intoned by the Christ, and the entire group of people in the valley fall upon their faces. This invocation sets up a great vibration or thought current, which is of such potency that it reaches up from the group of aspirants, disciples, and initiates who employ it to the being we know as God, the Creator. It marks the supreme moment of intensive spiritual effort throughout the entire year, and the spiritual vitalization of humanity and the spiritual effects last throughout the succeeding months. The effect of this great invocation is universal or cosmic, and serves to link us up with that cosmic center of spiritual energy from which all created beings have come. This blessing is poured forth, and the Christ, as the world teacher and representative of humanity, receives it in trust for its distribution. Thus, so the legend runs, the Buddha returns once a year to bless the world, transmitting through the world teacher renewed spiritual life. Slowly then, the Buddha recedes into the distance until again only a faint speck can be seen in the sky, and this eventually disappears. The whole ceremonial blessing from the time of the first appearance in the distance until the moment the Buddha fades out of view takes exactly 8 minutes. When the Buddha has again disappeared, the crowd rises to their feet. The water in the bowl is distributed in tiny portions to the masters, initiates, and disciples, and then they go their way to their place of service. And the crowd who have brought their cups and vessels of water drink from them and share with others. In this beautiful water ceremony of communion, we have preserved for us in symbol an indication of the new age which is today upon us, the Aquarian age, the age of the water bearer. It is the age of a person carrying a pitcher of water. The water which has been magnetized by the presence of the Buddha and of the Christ carries certain properties and virtues of a healing and helpful nature. Thus blessed, the crowd silently disperses. The masters and disciples return with renewed strength to undertake another year of world service. So runs the ancient legend. So that's an abbreviated version of the story that is told, particularly in the lineage that we're part of here at Meditation Mount, the Trans-Himalayan mystery tradition or wisdom tradition. So let me just finish by saying, throughout time, these religious festivals have been commemorations of historical events and teachers, but as we move into the future, our understanding of religion will move away from a remembrance of things past and of spiritual teachers from antiquity into a recognition of the livingness of the events that are occurring now. Because the presence of Christ and the presence of Buddha are in us as a living promise. They are not personages simply in their expression. The light and love of a Christos and a Buddha are actually the promise that lives inside the heart of each one of us. So the observance of the Wesak Festival is part of this shift. And it's a shift into a livingness. It is not a religion based on the past. It is a spiritual practice based on the livingness of the presence of this promise inside of us. So although this is the festival of the Buddha, it's not the Buddha of 2,500 years ago that's being celebrated, but rather the living Buddha. And the message of healing this presence comes to bring to our needy world is in right timing. So the Wesak ceremony is related to the mass intent of illumined souls and the mass demand of the world's seekers, because we're asking, the appeal from the heart of humanity is to bring light into the world. So today we can sense that need and we can make our own contribution to the work by being workers of the light, by being bearers of this new age, the Aquarian age. So as we take in the import and the opportunity of this particular festival, let the words of the legend continue to ring in the ethers. And let us take this with a sense of joyful expectancy into our meditation that Diana will now lead us in. This is the full moon meditation that we're going to partake in as a group. Over to you, Diana.
Thank you, Michael. It was beautiful. Welcome, friends. I just have a couple little additions to all that beautiful information that we just heard on this very important Wesak full moon, and possibly even connecting to the rejoining of the conclave every 100 years. Some say it might be around this time at this particular full moon. It's very potent, very powerful, and very transformative. Remember, Taurus is the solar and Scorpio is the lunar. So we have a full moon in Scorpio, which is the sign of transformation. So what needs to transform and what is transforming? And one of the things I've been thinking about for this full moon is what needs to be restructured. And everything is being restructured, and what needs to be restructured in our life. And so that is what's happening. And when we go into the meditation, which will be the full moon exact time will be Monday at 9:55 a.m. So you could re-listen to this recording if you would like to at the exact time, 9:55 tomorrow morning. But we're just about 12 hours ahead of it, which is perfect timing to enter into this meditational energy because the whole world is linking up during these hours and really days before the full moon exact time. And so people are meditating for a few days, 2 days before, 2 days after, linking up with this same stream of energy. And so we're pulsing and pulsing and pulsing around the planet as different groups and different people and different ones are consciously using this strong, powerful energy of this particular full moon, this transformative energy of this full moon, Taurus, Scorpio. So you can feel in your life and already in the world how much is transforming right now. And one of the things that I thought we could uh, highlight or bring into our meditation a little bit is that transformative energy personally, and then also transformative for humanity, for the whole world, right? So this is an opportunity to really work with that. So as you're setting up and you're thinking about like what could be transformed in your own life, also aware of what could be transformed in the world and what is transforming in our own life and in the world, and how we can harmonize with that, to not be in resistance to that, to help allow this transformation to happen. So it's really, really powerful right now. And hopefully you have your water glass so that afterward we'll drink that water together that has been blessed by this Buddhic light. This full moon is about light. So allow a light to move you, allow light to enter you. Think of it moving in from above to below, right? On earth as it is in heaven. We want it to descend into ourselves. So we have heaven in ourselves. Powerful. When you think of that and letting that soul light be the conditioner that allows that light to move gently and safely and perfectly aligned with your constitution, your energy dynamics in your body and mind and heart. So, on that, let's begin. So, make yourself comfortable and just taking a few breaths to balance the physical body, letting all the physical tension come out of the body, letting yourself come into the present moment by relaxing your legs, relaxing your arms, relaxing your neck, relaxing your eyes, coming into present awareness. And with another breath, as you exhale, balancing the emotional body so that the emotions of all of the striking energies that have been happening of late are harmonized and conditioned by the heart and come into calm emotions, relaxed emotions. And on another breath, on the exhalation, consciously relaxing the mental body, relaxing the mind, letting your mind become still. Gently becoming aware of the heart center now. Breathing through the heart center. And beginning that process of opening to those higher incoming energies. And through the heart center, being aware of all other heart centers. Heart to heart centers of beings, of places, of countries, of our world. Heart to heart with the very, very many that are meditating with us now and will be and have already, connecting heart to heart with all of us, conscious souls. And so we create this landing pad, the lotus within the heart. And from this point of the center of the heart, sending a line of silvery light straight up into the head center to take your place within the head center as conscious soul. The moment that you do, the crown chakra naturally opens and connects to the soul, to the heart of the soul, heart to heart, heart to heart on the horizontal with all conscious souls and all beings, heart to heart on the vertical, from the heart of mind in the cave center and its alignment with the heart of the soul. And you can already feel this connection becoming stronger and stronger, light to light. And through the heart of the soul, letting that line of light continue upwardly to the masters and teachers, with Christ at the center. That harmonize and condition this light through the heart of Shambhala. And you can feel this light increasing as we touch these points, these stations, these light stations that move upward into higher and higher vibration. And just gently from Shambhala, still holding all these points, but from Shambhala, gently becoming aware of the heart of the sun, all the way to the heart of Sirius. More and more light, conditioned light, holy light. Letting this light be received through your physical self and all the bodies of the self. as a point of consciousness on the planet, a point of light on the planet, representing all of us, representing humanity. And in that shambolic field, gently through the cave center, breathing there, sensing this shambolic field filling with light more and more. Remembering the Taurus motto, I see, and when the eye is opened, the eye is opened. All is light, greater and greater light. And into this light field, we'll begin to move into the silence, using a seed thought as a touchstone, as an anchor, as a launch pad, to work with within this silence, in this field of light, in this field of conscious light, in this field of Buddhic light. We'll hold with this seed thought. We hold with the highest for the highest. We hold with the highest for the highest. And enter that space now of the silence, receiving this awareness, this download. light to light, increasing light, receiving this light as divine intelligence, as divine love, as the divine plan. And letting this light restructure the water that's in our glass, the water that's in our bodies, the water that's on our planet, every drop, everywhere, in all ways. Intelligence, divine intelligence, restructuring the waters by pure consciousness, by pure light to light to light, and sensing this light that's coming from on high, high, almost moving like snow, crystallized water, restructured. And as it touches the world, the atmospheres of this planet and the planet and all beings on this planet, this restructured snowflake divine intelligence dissolves into the world as pure consciousness, received. I receive this light. We receive this light. And we hold with the highest, for the highest. On earth as it is in heaven. Om. I'm feeling all this design of light, healing our world, conditioning our world and every being on it for the highest good. Letting all of this awareness, all of this consciousness become part of you now.
as you, with all the insights and continuing awarenesses that will be given over these next days, received and received and received through dreams, through thinkings, through creativities, through us. And gently send these energies from the center of the cave out through the Ajna center to our world, to all heart centers, whether they be the center, the heart center of a continent, or the heart center of a country, or the heart center of a city, or the heart center of a being, heart to heart to heart, receiving. And imagining all the oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, underwater, underground water, wells, all being restructured by that divine plan and that Buddhic light which harnesses and holds this energy in perfect and divine order. And just gently sense your feet on the ground. And we'll close this meditation with the great invocation, followed by 3 Oms. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into all human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into all human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills. The purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om.
So we're participating together today in this global festival, this Wesak Festival. And the ceremony of the light entering into earth and the power of the light being magnetized and potentized in the water. So let's continue and complete our time together by distributing the blessings of light we receive from the deeper dimensions of this one life during our meditation. And to begin this, you may actually wish to take a sip of the water that has been blessed during our time together. If you have a glass handy or a bowl, if you want to take a sip, and as you sip it, in your own words, in your own way, consecrate this coming year to one of serving the emergence of light on earth. So in addition to re-energizing our own lives through the drinking of the water, symbolically, we can also share this magnetized water with others. It's a potent blessing for all beings. We can share it with friends. We can also nourish our plants and our pets with it. This is the water of life. So let us complete with the 3 soundings of the Tibetan bowl, and at each sounding we will send out a blessing of light from the chalice of our group heart into the world, and we will visualize this light entering into the hearts and minds of all our brothers and sisters of our one human family, awakening the light that lives at the heart of every human being. So let us prepare to send out in 3 waves the blessings of light that we have gathered together. Let light descend on earth. So thank you everyone for your presence and for your participation in this planetary ritual. And we wish you good night and blessings from the heart of all of us here at Meditation Mount. We send it from our heart to your heart. Thank you for this opportunity to serve together. Blessings to all beings. Namaste.